What's good, party people? This is Voodoo in the Woods. I'm Gordon in the Woods, and he is former U of MMA champion Pius Enel Lobo, better known as Voodoo Maximus. And before we get into UFC Apex 64, 36, 44, I feel like I'm doing Scott Steiner math when I'm trying to keep up with all the fight nights and whatever. But Lewis versus Spivak. But we lost an all-time great this week in Anthony Rumble Johnson. Actually, this happened over the weekend. He was battling a long illness that, he, much like Chadwick Boseman, didn't really disclose to too many people. And he unfortunately succumbed this past weekend, actually a day after the Adesanya fight. So just our condolences, our deepest condolences to all the friends and family of Rumble Johnson. He was, we've got Derek Lewis, fighting in the main event of this particular card, right, against Sergey Spivak. But you could argue that when Derek Lewis was fighting on like the UFC fight night prelims, Anthony Rumble Johnson was getting his title shots at light heavyweight against Daniel Cormier. And one would argue he would, if Daniel Cormier and John Jones weren't the kingpins of the light heavyweight division during the time of Rumble Johnson, we would be talking about him posthumously, but as former UFC light heavyweight champion. He was just that talented.
Yeah. He had that hand of stone as well. One hitter quitter. First time we saw him, he was in the 170-pound division, just knocking suckers out left and right. But then when he wasn't fighting, he would turn out to be like a bigger dude. But he was able to move up in weight. He went to the 185-pound division. He wrecked it there too. But there was still weight issues. But then he went to the 205, and that's where he found home. He left the UFC for a while, and then he rebuilt himself. He started fighting in the light heavyweight division, and there was where he found his home, and the bulk of his career lies at the 205 division. The type of the level of competition that he faced was admirable. He had very few losses, and the people he lost to were former champions, pretty much. So shout out to Rumble Johnson and his family. It was a tough one to behold. It was a little rough, but these things happen. I lost a homie as well. Saturday, 4 a.m. You know what I'm saying? Same situation. It's a tough one.
Well, my sincerest condolences to you and the loss of your good friend. It's a death. That's, we're kind of talking off air. You kind of only live once. And it's these things, right? That kind of, whether you're paving a legacy for yourself or not, to be echoed amongst the masses when your final day comes. It doesn't get any more real than moments like this.
Most definitely, man. It puts things in perspective too. Everything's finite. Everything that has a beginning has an end. We hear these things in the movies, but if you really pay attention, everything that has a beginning does have an end. It's what we do in that time, in the time in between the beginning and the end. You talk about legacy, right? What are we gonna do within that time? Every individual is granted their own space. What are they gonna do with it? I just try and do the best I can. to fill up that time adequately. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. That's a very introspective and prophetic way to look at it. So kudos to you. That's why you're tasked to help mold the minds of the young. Your own and the community in which you serve. So thank you for that. And speaking of community members, McMac says, "Hey, babies."
What's up, champ?
Yeah. Hey, Bainey and Ryback is good at MMA. Not quite as good as
Feed me more. Is he back? Is Ryback back?
no.
Oh,
Let's
I was
not
about to say.
like that's not no. But this is somebody who like has talked so much shit about like literally everyone, right? CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Sick Man, whatever. He even put out a poll. I think it was before COVID, but
Mhm.
like it's like, do you guys want me to retire? And he put it on his Instagram story, and everybody said
Everybody say
yes,
yeah.
100%. Yeah, anytime that anything that says like Ryback says, I'm all like, I'm good.
Hey,
I'm good.
he's got to eat, man. Without the WWE, how's he gonna eat? So he just started telling stories on his podcast
I
or whatever.
I I'm not. It's There's too many motherfuckers getting canceled. I just like so many billionaires that are getting all wrecked. It was
How about that?
Kanye, then it was like the FTX motherfucker, and you know what? I don't know how it came up, but maybe like my Google machine kind of figured me out that I'm listening to all these like or watching all these YouTube takes on what the fuck happened with FTX, like because somebody
Yeah.
they were talking about Twitter, right?
Mhm.
Like, oh, you know, uh, imagine because you know about that, right? Like Elon basically was like, "Hey, you got to get your ass to the office, and if you don't, whatever." And then he
Right.
he basically did a tech CEO way of, "Do you like me? Yes or no?" Where he
Right. Right.
basically told everybody, like, "Hey, if you're still with the company, smiley face emojis," and everybody waved, like, "Fuck off." So imagine though, theoretically speaking, if you are on the higher end of the Tesla payroll, right?
Mhm.
I mean, not the Tesla, the Twitter payroll,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you bought yourself a Tesla some years ago, but the guy who made the car fired you from your fucking job or made things so intolerable, whatever, and then you're like, quit. Oh fuck, how am I gonna pay for this Tesla?
He's got you.
People are
Elon.
amazing. It's strange. Yeah, and it's like Billy Joel song, yeah, "Only the Good Die Young," 100%, and everybody calls him Cryback. I mean, yeah,
Cry back.
there's, if that's the case, there's a lot of people that's gonna join him in this. Like, we're not even at the end of the year yet, and man, Jesus Christ, like
You know.
bill- billions missing, just like a fucking trickless magician, like David Blaine. I
So
got no.
what's the deal with this FXT or whatever, fella?
Where do I start?
I know he's some kid from MIT, right?
Right, and then his girlfriend. I don't know if I should say it, but you remember? You remember that movie back in the '80s, Mac and Me, the bootleg ET?
I think so. I think so.
The girlfriend might look like Mac from Mac and Me.
Wow.
All
You think
right,
you can pull that up?
hope so. Hold on, let's see. Okay, Mac and Me. Um, yeah. So, oh no, I'm definitely gonna get canceled. Um, but there's no Twitter, so none of this shit exists. Um, let's see. Okay. I forgot how to do this, but I feel like I get it. All right, here we go. So, Mac and Me movie. Let me know if you see it.
Yes. Oh
You
yeah, I
remember that?
remember this. Yeah, I remember this.
Okay.
I remember this character.
Yes. What's her name? Caroline Ellison. There you go. All right, let me know if you're still with me.
Yep. Yep. Yes. Yes. I remember this person.
Okay. That is the FTX guy's girlfriend
Oh,
that kind of looks like Mac and Me. Uh
interesting.
but she they basically were like a sex cult, and they also embezzled a shit ton of altcoins from like unsuspecting hapless victims and shit like that.
Wow.
Basically, fucking more than like 3 times Bernie Madoff. What Bernie Madoff fucking got away with, these motherfuckers,
So
like he was sleeping under on 2 giant beanbags under a fucking desk while there's like a fucking polygamist whatever the fuck between 10 of them, and
wow.
then their parents like have ties to like Gary Gensler of the SEC, and then he gave a shit ton of money, like $16 million to like the Democratic National Party and all that shit. And I mean, just this recent election, you remember the red wave that was supposed to happen? Micmac was talking about that last week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that it is, but I mean, he did donate $16 million worth of shit to the Democratic Party. Um, yeah, man, this shit is fucked up, and people's like life savings and everything like that. Imagine like your grandma and whatever, and you see like your grandson or whatever making it rich in like Bitcoin or whatever. And like, hey, Sonny, why don't you do that for me? Oh, grandma, I fucking heard about this FTX thing. Let's go, whatever. And it's like, okay, Sonny. And she there goes her fucking life savings and her second mortgage and shit like that. And these 10 fuckheads.
Hey, it sounds like we're in the billions. Huge.
No, yeah, no. I mean, definitely billions. Like where do I even fucking?
Damn.
It's a whole thing. Like just FTX on the YouTube if you haven't already. But it's pretty fucked. It's really
Mm.
fucked. But I mean, you had Kanye, Kyrie, fucking FTX, Twitter, like the fucking down economy is happening. Holy shit. Oh man, I like it. Yeah, and I heard that they rigged the vote in some. I've heard that too.
Um,
In,
uh,
yeah.
Not
And-
that far from reality, man.
no
I
man.
remember. I remember once it was George Bush Jr. versus not
Yeah.
the guy
Wait,
that made what's his name?
Ross Perot was George Bush Sr. And that was a motherfucker too. You remember?
Yeah, I like that dude.
He fucking bought time. This shit
Yeah,
was the original
he was a
information.
billionaire, right? He was a
Yeah.
billionaire.
And every fucking like you just turned on 8 o'clock on every fucking
Bob
channel.
Dole. Is it Bob Dole?
No, it was Ross
Well,
Perot.
no. The one Junior ran against that he ran against. Uh, Bob. What's that dude's name? He made the documentary
Oh,
about
no, Al Gore. Al Gore.
Al Gore. That's the guy. He ran
That,
against Al Gore, right? And he beat Al Gore. Something about Florida. His brother was governor in Florida, so
yeah,
the
that's
count was suspect or whatever. You remember
yeah.
that?
So Jeb was the, and this is fact. This is not even
Mm-hmm.
like conspiracy theory. Like Jed was the governor of Florida that supposedly lost a shit ton of votes in socioeconomic, ethnic uh, communities and shit like that. But
Mm-hmm.
also the person who is directly in charge, because it's not like the governor was in charge of that shit. The person, Kathleen Harris, was the
Mm-hmm.
Secretary of State, supposedly was, canoodling with Jeb.
How
So
convenient.
I'm just saying. And then they after the whole election was whatever, and Bush is sworn in, they found a
Hmm.
shit ton of ballots in like an
Hmm.
alligator. Fucking shit.
He stole the electoral college.
No, fuck the college. It's in the
Hmm.
alligator. Like literally, they threw that shit in the fucking swamp, and alligators are turning up missing and shit. Like, or they were getting fucked up and whatever. And yeah, that's kind of what fucking happened. It's just like there was a bunch of fucking stolen. There's a lot of shenanigans, right? Fucking uh, Dick Cheney, leaves Halliburton supposedly, but still on the board, and then becomes vice president. And then, in Afghanistan, there's no bid contracts to Halliburton for all of the oil rigs and shit like that. And look, 20 years later, all the trillions, not billions, trillions of dollars that we gave to Afghanistan, they did, they unraveled that shit in like what, 22 minutes, theoretically. So yeah, and Trump cheated as well. 100%. I mean, he made a career out of it. So like it's all fucking just watch House of Cards. That's it. And then you could intermingle whatever political interest group as the FTX beanbag polygamous McEnany whatever guy. It's all the same. It's fucking. That's what I'm gonna have my kid do. He's like learning about like American government. I was like, fucking just watch House of Cards. We'll just do it on a weekend, whatever the fuck, and you'll figure it out. That's it. People getting yeah, yeah, makes me all weird. But one thing that doesn't make me weird is the fights, which is weird in
Yes.
itself, right?
Yes.
But right off the bat, as we've mentioned, it's Derek Lewis versus Sergey Spivak in a heavyweight main
Mhm.
event. But my goodness, this undercard is tremendous. Starting off in the women's flyweight division, we have the undefeated uh, Teresa Bleda, and her nickname is Ronda. I don't know if she knows about a more prominent Ronda that did the UFC, but it didn't necessarily. I mean, it worked well when it worked well, but then when it didn't work well, it all went to shit. But I don't know why
Mhm.
she wants to name herself Ronda, but it's not my deal. But she's fighting out of the Czech Republic. She comes to us by way of Dana White's Contender Series back
Mhm.
in September of this year, where she beats Mayara Maya, right? But
Mhm. Mhm.
her whole previous UFC uh, career, like I mean, pre UFC career, takes place in Octagon. Like that's literally the name of the promotion. Oktagon. She fights on Octagon 16, 21, 23, 26, 30, and then gets a Dana White Contender Series. And that just sounded like I was an auctioneer or pulling lottery Powerball, whatever the fucks. But anyway, yeah. So she's basically had a lot of decisions in her career. She does have a couple TKOs and armbar victories, but I mean, there's a lot of decisions, right? So going on the other side of the docket, she is facing the 13-5-1 Natalia Silva of Brazil.
Mhm.
Now, Natalia um, comes to us by way of Jungle Fight, right? That was her pre UFC tenure. Uh, Fights at Jungle Fight 96 and Jungle Fight 100, where she gets submission victories that theoretically propelled her into the UFC, right? And Jungle Fight, God, I forgot the guy. He's a dude with like an Arab name, but he's Brazilian. You know the God, what's his name? He fought in the UFC too. He's like the promoter of Jungle Fight, and he got a shit ton of Walid Ishmael. There you go. That's his name.
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
yeah,
remember you talking about that.
yeah, yeah. So he runs Jungle Fight, brings a shit ton of Brazilians there. Like literally the who's who. Of Brazilian MMA have fought on Jungle Fight. And a
Mhm.
lot of um, I guess interesting prospects, right? Of Brazil. So yeah, man. So we've got what's her face, Teresa, and she's fading Natalia Silva, and
Yes.
Natalia, she has kind of a similar record, right?
Hmm.
Where there's some submissions. She doesn't have any TKOs, but her finishing rate compared to Teresa seems a
Hmm.
little bit better. But Teresa is 6-0. But
Yeah.
I want to say that I mean, and I don't want to say it's proof positive that Natalia Silva has way more finishes and way more experiences than
Hmm.
Teresa.
Hmm.
Oh, I want to go with Natalia. Honestly, Natalia third round armbar, because that's the way she kind of earned herself into the UFC is,
Hmm.
armbar, arm locks, in jungle fight. So that's what I got. What do you got, Voodoo?
You know, I look at this uh, Teresa Ronda. She's probably like the best in her town, undefeated like Ronda Rousey. That town must be a fan of Ronda Rousey. So since her performance resembles that of Ronda Rousey, so she adopts the name. But what is the competition like in her town? This is the question. Usually, we don't pick against uh, undefeateds because we believe that that has never taken a loss is a good bet always, right? But in this case, I think I'm gonna have to side with you, bro, and go with Silver as well. The
Yeah,
experience matters.
yeah, and I think at this point, I don't think we're going to see the last of Teresa, but um, I don't know. But R- Rogue Strummer says she's one of the best prospects in all of Europe. She's a
Hmm.
complete fighter.
Oh,
So
really?
there you go. And Rogue, seems like he's got his hand
So,
in the European market.
so Rogue. So does Rogue feel this is worthy of a 50-50 split?
Hmm.
Is that what he's saying?
Hmm. Let's
Since she's
see.
the best in Europe or prospect in Europe,
Oh,
perhaps.
one of the best. I mean,
Yeah, one of the best, perhaps.
European MMA. When you think about it, right? When you had guys like Michael Bisping, as one of the stalwarts, and like the tentpole standard bearers of European MMA and British MMA specifically. You
Mhm.
know, man, we've had Gustafson, we've had so many people. So, yeah, and he's saying he says that Natalia has
She's
55.
that good.
So
So
I'll put it
okay,
in your quarter.
what do you think? What do you think? Who you got?
All right.
I'm willing. I'm willing to take the Natasha then.
Okay, so you're gonna take Natalia, then I'm
Sure.
gonna go with the European
Hmm.
Ronda, and
Sounds good.
Silva seems high quality as well to the best
Okay.
young fighters. 100%. This could I don't want to say
Could be
fight of the night, but this
a
is
great
definitely going to
opener.
be 100%. This is going to hopefully set the social medias on fire on Saturday night, and there's a lot more attention coming out of this particular fight than going into it. So
Hmm.
thank you for the insight, Rogue. And I mean, everybody can
Rogue
chime in the
Stromer.
comments. Yeah, man. And BCW Worldwide says, what's going on, folks? We miss you at the Roundtable Podcast. I will probably do a drop in soon. So
Yeah.
yes, there you go. Complete the circle, a perfect circle.
Yeah.
But our compatriots here on bodyslam.net, where you can find this along with the Video in the Woods social media pages. So go
Yeah.
ahead and check out and subscribe to both the Brown Table Podcast, Pro Wrestling Podcast, and bodyslam.net. So, boom, there you go. So, going to the second fight of the night, we have Fernand Garcia, 10-2, going against the 5-2 Brady Heistan. Now,
Hmm.
we've talked about Brady before.
Yes.
He is a gentleman out of actually Sikh Jitsu. So Rick Little. Oh shit! Yeah, he was on the Ultimate Fighter. That's the one that Chiesa, right? Chiesa was talking about like, hey,
Oh yeah, I
yeah,
remember that.
because that was the Amanda Nunes Juliana Pena season, right? And then
Yes.
um, I think it was like I think Chiesa was calling a fight at the Performance Institute, and then what's her face Pena basically called Chiesa over, and they're like, "Hey, Brady, you're here. What the fuck?"
Yeah.
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 So
Yeah. 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 I
okay,
remember
so
that. I vaguely
yeah,
remember that.
yeah. So Brady Heisen. That's why he looks so familiar. But unfortunately, I mean, he won two of his fights in the Ultimate Fighter house. I don't think he won the Ultimate Fighter. I think that went to like Pooh Bear. Maybe I'm thinking of the wrong seasons. Um, I want to say it was like Brian Battle. Oh shit! Okay, this is the. I'm definitely mixing up the seasons because this is the Volkanovski Ortega season. But in any event, right? This is a Sikh Jitsu guy. Obviously, Rick Little is the coach of Michael Chiesa, Sam Cecilia, uh, the former women's bantamweight champion Juliana Pena. So he comes from good stock, right? But he's going up against a tough Mexican fighter that's heading to Fernie Garcia. Fernie Garcia comes to us out of Fortis MMA. Unfortunately, his UFC debut, his official UFC debut, he gets stunted by Journey Newsom, and he loses a unanimous decision on the undercard of the Justin Gaethje Charles Oliveira
Mm,
UFC 274 fight.
mm,
But how he makes his way into the UFC is by way of Dana White's Contender Series back in 2021, and that was against Joshua Weems. That was an
mm,
overhand TKO that sealed the deal. So Brady has finishes, right? But they come by
mhm,
way of Ultimate Fighter, which Ultimate Fighter has, modified rules, almost like amateur MMA in California. It's like 2 3 minute rounds, that type of deal. So I
mm,
don't know how Brady is going to be on a big stage with a 15-minute fight. That's why even with a loss, right, to Journey Newsom,
mhm.
Ernie Garcia has already, like dealt with the lights, dealt with everything that a formal UFC fight happens, right? And
Mhm,
even
mhm.
in the instance of Brady, Brady, right? Brady fought on Ultimate Fighter, right? Which is not technically, it might not have as many
Yeah,
eyes, right? But
yeah,
also, Fernie fought in a similar situation on Dana White's Contender Series. And I just think that I mean, Fernie's fought on LFA. He's fought on big cards. Um, that's why I'm going with Fernie, but via
yeah,
split decision. That's what I
yeah,
feel.
yeah, yeah. You hear that argument? Those that came in the hard way and those that came in through the TV show. You know, there's a certain concept that the TV show dudes aren't as tough as the ones that took the long route. But then you have Michael Bisping, came from the TV show, world champion. Usman came from the TV show, world
Rashad
champion.
Evans,
Rashad Evans, who came from the TV show, world champion. So we can't
Carlos
really.
Barza,
Carlos Barza, the first, was that flyweight? What was that? What's that weight
strawweight.
class? Strawweight, the first strawweight champion. You know, double champion at that.
Yeah.
One of few that has repeated holding the belt. You know, so uh, tough fighters come out of the Ultimate Fighter house as well. So.
And that's just the champions. I mean,
Hmm.
think about Nate Diaz. Think about
Hmm. That's
Diego
true.
Sanchez.
Hmm.
Look at the the contenders that have come. These once in a
Khalil Roundtree.
a little Roundtree. Holy shit, man! And
Yeah.
Miz came through a TV show. Yes, he did come through the ring.
Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, Kimbo Slice. That is fact. That is fact. I mean, for what he was incredible. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, like I love me some Kimbo Slice, and shout out to Baby Slice, who's Kimbo's son, who's still he- assuming the mantle and
That's
earning every
right.
bit of it. So hell yes. This one is kind of a given in terms of who I'm picking, but let me run down the stats. We have the 13-5 Spider Girl Maria Oliveira, right?
Hmm.
She is from Brazil. She has a split decision win over Gloriana De Paula. She lost her UFC debut to Tabitha Baby Shark Ricci, but
Hmm.
that's Baby Shark Ricci, who's one of the highest prospects, former LFA strawweight champion. So
Hmm.
that's some good stock, right? But speaking of former LFA strawweight champions, we have the Grecian little monster Vanessa Demopoulos, who is the first LFA women's strawweight champion, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
she's training formerly of Black House, now training over at Fight Ready MMA with Henry Cejudo and all of them. Um, but I mean, she's faced some of the who's, right? Lupita Gonzalez, who she lost the
Hmm.
LFA strawweight title to, Sam Hughes, Loveth Young, Valeria Anne Marie Soto, Itzel Iscavel, Nadine Madu, JJ Ulrich, and her most recent win is a split decision win over former Invicta world champion Junior Frey, who, in my estimation, is a legend already. So
Genuine.
I'm gonna give her her props. But when you look at the people that Vanessa Demopoulos has taken on in
Hmm.
both MMA competition as well as competing in Medusa, which is like the female Eddie Bravo Invitational, right? And
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm going with Little Monster, man. Like that's kind of home team. So
Her jujitsu is a problem though. That's
yeah,
the
it
main
is.
thing. Her
Yeah,
jujitsu is a problem, and she's very slick with it. Can Maria Oliveira handle such jujitsu? I don't think she'll be able to. I think Thermopolis is going to utilize a lot of clinching, grappling. Why fight where you're strongest? Why strike? Why get touched in the face at all when I can just take you down, suck you to the ground, and implement some kind of submission? You know.
yeah.
So I'm also going with Thermopolis all day long, man.
Do you think she finishes it?
I think she can finish it, man. By the third round, she can finish it. I see her taking a back and going for a rear naked choke.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I'm going with that. So third round rear naked choke.
Yeah,
Well, submission of some sort.
yeah,
Yeah, and she's got some power in her hands. So that's another part of the equation that most people that is different than the little monster who won the inaugural LFA strawweight title.
right,
Right?
right.
She's got power in the hands. She was
Hmm.
working with the Saxon folks before she went out to Arizona, and then got
Hmm.
even more refined.
Hmm.
Down in Arizona at Fight Ready. So that's going to be an incredible fight. So that's a consensus pick. We got Little Monster Demopoulos for the win, third round submission. Now we were talking about this is an interesting matchup because we were talking about Ultimate Fighter, people, right?
Hmm.
Well, we've got Ricky Tercios. And Tercios, pretty Ricky Tercios, was on the Ultimate Fighter season 29, same as the aforementioned Brady Heiston. Actually has a win over Brady Heiston, a split decision win that happened in August of this year,
Hmm.
or last year, I should say. Um, but he lost unanimous decision, lost to Ayman Zahabi, which is
Hmm.
related to Faraz Sahabi, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
So um, on the other side, you have the 93 LFA veteran, um, Quicksand Kevin Natividad. Say that three
Mm-hmm.
times fast. Apparently, I can't. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, let's do that. But he is 0-2 in his last two outings, but
Mm-hmm.
those being uh, getting KO'd by Miles Johns, then basically getting KO'd by Dana Batgirl,
Mm-hmm.
right? But
Mm-hmm.
prior to that, on the undercard of Sam Hughes and Vanessa Demopoulos, he basically KO'd the Hoosier Kyle Estrada, which is weird because we were just talking about six and Muay Thai, and Kyle
Mm-hmm.
Estrada is formerly of Saxon Muay Thai. So
Mm-hmm.
there's that. Um, it's a weird one for Kevin Natividad, right? He
Mm-hmm.
called himself Quicksand, but in his last two outings, it looked like he fell to quicksand, like
Mm-hmm.
fell into quicksand, um,
Mm.
which I feel like it's kind of prime for Ricky Tercios to kind of thwart any chances of making a good run in the UFC for Kevin Natividad. He's gonna dash that completely. So I'm actually going with Ricky Tercios
Mm.
split decision win, and I don't think it's going to be easy, but I
Mm-hmm.
do see um, I do see Tercios winning. But
Yeah.
Tercios, I remember from that season of the Ultimate Fighter, there's some like attitude stuff, and he's high strung and whatever. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I remember this guy.
yeah,
He's all
he
earthy, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
and
He's
he lived
all
at home with
yeah.
mom and all
Yeah.
that jazz. Yeah,
He's like that
but
yoga type dude,
yes, yeah. So
like stones and stuff like that.
yeah, 100%.
Spiritual.
Uh-huh. Yeah, like I don't. I mean, he's almost like Matt Riddle, right? Like, how did this guy pass the tests? You know,
Hmm.
because he's all
I
shroomed
remember
out.
this guy.
Yeah. So
Hey, I can split you on this one, man.
you want Natividad?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'll take
Okay,
Natividad on this
that's
one.
fair.
He's boxing him and his brother. He's been, you know, I think it's the bright lights that's getting to him, the UFC. You know, he's not comfortable yet in such a big on such a big platform.
Right.
It's I believe this is the source of the two knockout losses. He needs to
Right.
learn to calm down. Once he calms down, his true talent will come out.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, echoing your sentiments is Rogue saying Tucios is a wild man. You know, he
mhm,
comes off as annoying to me. I
mhm,
don't rate him highly, but they gave him a winnable matchup. I'm not sure of either of them. I'm not sure if him or Natividad is at UFC level, but
mhm,
Tucios is a good scrambler.
mhm,
Um,
mhm,
I mean, I think that echoes your sentiments, right, Voodoo?
mhm, mhm, mhm.
Yeah. So, I mean, but you're going to go with Natividad for sure.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
Natividad, man. There's something about precision, you know.
Mm.
I mean, it doesn't all like we saw last week with
Is he?
Adesanya. Yeah,
Yeah.
he had all the precision. You know, he did everything right, and still Poitin did his thing.
Did you
Absolute destruction.
did you see the finishing sequence? Though? I mean, I'm
Mhm.
glad you brought it up.
Yeah,
Did you see what happened before the KO?
yeah, the kick, right?
The kick, and it was a he stumbled over his legs,
Yeah, yeah.
and then he rolled back, and he tried to like he rolled back, but he
That
didn't go in
that
foot like fight stance,
that
and he
kick got checked, and
oh
yeah,
okay
when you land like he landed, it feels like your leg uh, gets to the point, close to the point of breaking, and then it bends back. Right? It's extremely painful. That was why he tripped over his own leg.
Eh,
How many kicks did he throw that
fuck
night
ton.
where he was able to take that leg and put it right back?
Right,
Right
100%.
after the kick, he threw a lot of kicks. Right?
Yeah, 100%.
So that goes to support him kicking that shin was what lost him
Uh,
the match. Yeah,
I
that
thought
leg
it.
became compromised. Yeah,
Yeah,
that he got kicked in his pineal gland or whatever gland that was, but I think it was that kick that was checked. That was the main culprit to that loss.
No, 100%. Because I mean, he went on Iro Hawani,
Hmm.
the MMA hour, and he said almost exactly that. But
Hmm.
when I first saw the sequence, I thought he was channeling the late great Owen Hart, where
Hmm.
I kicked your
You.
leg out of your leg. That's that's why I kicked your leg out of your leg. I was like, shit. All right, damn.
Hey, Owen was something special, man. I love
One of the
that dude.
all-time greats. He doesn't get his credit. Him, I mean, shit. There was some. I can't remember where it was, but they were like the top five, top 25 factions
Hey,
in wrestling history. Holy shit! The
Owen.
Hart Foundation. Jesus
Owen
Christ.
was in a nation of domination.
Yes, he was. Never forget.
You know what I'm saying?
Never forget.
Honorary, bro. Talk
Yeah.
about honorary oos.
Right. That Sami Zayn shit, right? Owen was doing right before with the fucking caution tape singlet and everything. Yeah, man. Fucking Owen. This is my
Uh,
heart. Like, I mean,
yeah,
he really was the king of hearts. Like, you
man, he
watch
was
his shit
special.
now. uh, I mean, of course, like Inoki with the Insaguri, right?
Hmm.
But who did an Insaguri better than Owen Hart?
That's
Not
right.
one person. Not one
That's
person.
right.
Shelton Benjamin his thing is different because he kind of
Hmm.
spins out or whatever the fuck.
Hmm.
Anuki is the originator, but the best Insaguri for my money is Owen Hart, 100%. This is so fucking smooth,
Hmm.
so fucking smooth. That guy. Ah, man, it got me. That's why my fucking kid's named Owen. Jesus
That's
Christ, I
right, man.
love Owen Hart. I could talk about
Yeah.
Owen Hart all day, but and McBack says the video is looking dangerous. Hell yes. And
Like Darkwing Duck.
oh, let's get dangerous. Hell yes. Oh, I love that. I actually have like the stuffed Darwin duck here. My family knows how much I fucking love that.
Husky
Yeah, man.
518.
What's going on? And it's crazy because Husky got verified on Twitter, and then Elon Musk fucking pulls his shenanigans. I think he's
Oh.
targeting Shane Husky, and that's bad. Bad Elon Musk. Shane is a friend, so fuck it. But go ahead and check out all the streams from Shane Husky. I believe like at the beginning of next month, the beginning of December, he's going to run through a whole season of WWE 2K22. So that you want to check out 100%. So holla at Shane. All of his shit is in his bio. So go ahead and check him out. But speaking of things that we're going to check out, right?
Mm-hmm.
This one, the bantamweight, Miles Johns, 12-2, going up against the 11-6 Vincent Morales. Let's look at Morales first. Morales, Vendetta, Vincent Vendetta Morales. Let's put some respect on that gentleman's name. But Jesus Christ, look at this. He's been in there with Yadong Song. I mean, he was
Mm-hmm.
one of the principal people in the early incarnation of Dana White Contender Series. That
Mm.
him appearing at Dana White's Contender Series back in 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then loses to Domingo Piliarte, right? And
Mm.
then heads over to Bellator, but then wins at Bellator, a unanimous decision win over Justin Ugo.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes into the UFC officially, loses to Song Yadong, but then
Mm-hmm.
beats Ayman Sahabi, right? Faraz Sahabi's younger
Mm-hmm.
brother,
Mm-hmm.
then loses to Benito Lopez via unanimous
Mm-hmm.
decision. I mean, he got leg kicked to hell by Chris Gutierrez, but
Tough
then,
fight.
yeah, tough fight, but rebounds and beats Draco Rodriguez via unanimous
Impressive.
decision, right, on the undercard of Derek Lewis and Cyril Gahn. Man, they really thought Lewis was going to knock out Gahn, but that didn't happen.
Mm.
But also, in the instance of Vince Morales, he knocks out the last Samurai, Smolka, in
Mm-hmm.
the very first round with the overhand
Impressive.
right.
Impressive
Yeah,
win.
absolutely. But then lost to Jonathan Martinez, who looks
Mm.
like a Simpsons character.
Batman.
Yes, he does that too.
Mm.
But That was Vincent Morales, but now let's go over here to Miles Johns. Miles Johns, like we said, 12-2, is Chapo. He is
Mm-hmm.
fighting out of Fortress MMA. Um, let's see. In LFA, he actually beat Adrian Yanez via split
Wow,
decision win. That's pre
impressive.
UFC. That's hell of
Yeah.
impressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, then he gets KO'd. I mean, not immediately after. I mean, he comes up to Dana White's Contender Series back in 2019,
Mm-hmm.
wins against Richie Santiago via
Mm-hmm.
unanimous decision, wins a split decision win over Cole Smith in his formal UFC debut, then gets KO'd by Mario Bautista,
Yeah, I
then
told you about
KO.
Bautista. That dude's
Yeah,
badass, man.
yeah, I liked him when he was the fucking Drax, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the
No, no, no. Mario Bautista.
you see what I did there?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, okay, gotcha, gotcha, gotcha,
Dave
gotcha.
Bautista, the
Yes,
animal.
yes.
No.
Yeah, that dude only had one MMA fight.
Yes, he did, and it wasn't great. I paid for that shit. Damn it. Damn it. I want my money back, Dave. God. But that Netflix
Um,
zombie movie was cool, so we're igual. We're even. We're even, bro. Um, but yeah, KO's Kevin Natividad, then then KO's Anderson Dos Santos, which is a
mm,
Anderson Silva Jr. Dos Santos. You mix that
mm.
shit in a name generator, you got Anderson Dos
Man,
Santos.
you got one bad dude, man.
Yeah, shut your mouth.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You
but
got the
then
movement of Bruce Lee with the knockout power of Dos Santos.
Dos Santos, yeah, man, it's like a Brazilian without jiu-jitsu. It's like a Jackson or Osman that can't sing or dance.
Damn.
So I'm just saying. But then he loses via arm triangle to former Combate Americas champion John Sexy Mexi Castaneda.
That's the
So
veteran right there.
yeah, man. So now he's in there with Vincent Morales. I'm actually going to
Mm,
chop on this one. I feel like second round KO. That's what speaks to me. I like Vincent Morales. Don't get me
hmm
wrong, but I feel like Saturday night could be Miles Johnson's night. You can disagree, but I want to
mm.
hear what you got to say about it.
This gonna be a good match, is what I see. Uh, they're both complete fighters, but in this day and age of bonuses, two dudes like this might want to go for that money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Give a good performance,
Yeah,
and I mean, if the submission is there, they will definitely take it, but they'll be open to a war, which is why I'm going to go 50-50 with you on this because they both deserve an equal opportunity at a win. You know what I'm saying?
I like it. I like it. hundred
So who
percent.
you got?
No, I got Johns for sure.
Okay, I'll take V for Vendetta.
Okay, I got it. I like it. And Shane Hussey says I worked so hard for those fucking followers. I know you did. Fucking Elon Musk fucking he
Elon,
charges you the $8. That's just kind of like the FTX thing, right? In it, like you pay the fucking money and then don't get what you think you're
mm,
gonna like. You pay your money on Monday and then the whole fucking shit. Twitter is just like,
crashes on Tuesday.
yeah. So that sucks. And cheer up, Husky. You're Alaskan Malamutes. Now
Malamute,
I fucking butchered
Malamute,
that. Yeah, mute math. There you go. Um,
Alaskan Malamute.
yes, there you go. That's why he's the man. And Husky says yes, the BCW. That's Blue Collar Championship Wrestling. I
Mm,
believe it is BCW Universe Road, which is totally revamped December 6th. And I'm excited to do the Creator Wrestler shows once again. And thank you for all the shout out. You guys are the best.
let's go.
You're the best, Shane. You're the best. 100%.
Mhm.
And nobody can forget Deacon Batista. You remember?
Nah,
Oh, you do not remember
yeah,
when
which one was that?
Dave Batista fucking first came out on SmackDown? That was the time that they fucking split up the Dudley Boys, and Bubba
Oh
Ray,
yeah, he was
Bubba Ray,
like this. Uh,
the fucking tithe guy.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
He had a
yeah, yeah. I
fucking
remember
money
that guy.
box and a chain
Yes, 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 yes,
with
yes,
fucking
yes, yes.
Reverend Devon.
Yes, yes, yes. I remember that. I remember that. That was a good gimmick. That
I
was a very
do.
good gimmick.
I,
I loved
I
it.
I'm not. I'm not mad at that. It's just weird to fucking look at. Like even if you look at like the old New Day promos where they were like fucking gospel singers and shit like that. It's like the fuck,
Hey,
and they
it
turn.
all works.
I guess, man.
It all
I
works.
guess.
Religion
Uh,
works very well.
it,
Pimping works very well.
I mean, Shawn Michaels, right? Yeah, and
Right.
that sucks, says McMack. And yeah, collecting people money for his charity, which
Mm,
is not different than the fucking FTX guy.
mm,
So I'm just yeah, right on. 10 points. I guess, everything is fucking pro wrestling, folks. Everything's all pro wrestling.
That's right, man.
Even the UFC. Dana White is doing shit that Vince did 10 years ago. So just saying, just saying. This
Nothing
actually
new.
nothing new. But what is new is actually what I feel is going to be a performance bonus earner. This is the 11-3 Mariah Morose going
Okay.
against the 19-9-1 uh, Jennifer Maya. Right. So uh, Marina. Why do I call her Myra? I have no idea. But Myra, the Iron Lady Morose, training out of American Top Team. Uh, her She's actually on a 3-fight winning streak. Those coming by way of Sabrina Mazo, a unanimous decision, Myra
Mm,
Bueno Silva, unanimous decision, and a arm triangle choke win against Mariah, same name, but spelled differently, Agapova, right?
mhm,
And that was an arm triangle choke on the undercard of Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. What a shit show that was.
mm,
Uh, but Jennifer Maya, one of the hardest hitters in the women's flyweight division. Jesus Christ, she's a monster. This one,
title
but it,
contender.
yeah, Invicta veteran, Immortal FC veteran. But let's go with the UFC stuff. Beat
Mm,
Joanne Wood, formerly Joanne Calderwood, another
mhm,
UFC Ultimate Fighter alumnus. There, lost a championship title fight against Valentina Bullet Shevchenko, but it's
mhm,
fucking one of the greatest women's fighters of all time. Shevchenko is, so
mhm.
that's not a
Hall of Famer.
loss. Yeah, 100%. She hung in with Valentina all
Mhm,
25 minutes. So that is amazing, right? Um, but beat Jessica I via unanimous decision. Rematch Caitlin Chukugian and loses the same way via
mhm,
unanimous decision.
mhm,
And then loses again to another monster in Manon Firo, right? Via unanimous decision, but hung in there all 15 minutes. Uh, you know what? I'm actually gonna go back on it. Like I thought it was gonna be Maya.
mhm.
I think it might be
You think you
Maya.
got Jennifer?
I think I got Morose actually.
Okay.
Nothing against Maya, but
Mhm,
fuck, like Morose. I think at this juncture, right?
mhm,
And she doesn't have the trauma in her body. Like when you go up against the champion, right?
mhm,
Valentina Shevchenko. If you're
mhm,
Maya, that's gonna age you, right? It's
mm,
just like you know, uh, anytime anybody steps into the hell in a cell, Jim Ross would
mhm,
be like, you're never gonna come out the same way, whatever. You're gonna lose a little bit of yourself, and when
mhm,
you
mhm,
like, Shevchenko is the hell in the cell.
mm.
You're gonna come out bloody. You're gonna
You're never
why
gonna
the
be the
fuck?
same.
Yeah, why the fuck did I do this? Question your morals, everything.
Mm,
Um, so that's like a come to Jesus moment, man. And the Iron Lady hasn't had that trauma, and I think she's right. Winning. I mean, on a 3-fight winning streak,
mhm.
maybe she extends it to 4. I actually got Mariah Morose. I
And
want to
she's
say
working at
American
AK
Top Team.
Yeah, AT,
ATT, yeah.
ATT.
So second round KO. Fuck it. Let's
Mm.
go. Yeah, second round KO, Mara Morose. But I also Jennifer
And
Maya's
she's
chin.
younger.
Yeah, but Jennifer Maya's chin. I feel like split decision is where it's at, but I'm gonna go with Morose. It breaks my heart not to go with Maya. Like, but I feel like split
For that,
decision Morose. Yeah.
I'll split you.
Okay.
I'll get Maya. You feel
Okay.
she's worth it. You feel she's worth it. So I'll pick her, and then that way we give her respect.
I like
You know
it.
what
I
I'm
like it. Well, thank you for taking one for the team, Voodoo.
saying?
100%. I was really wrestling with it. Yes, yeah. But yes, everything is wrestling, Shane. Uh heard Adam is going to the Fire Fest. Probably not. But also, the Fire Fest, right? Where all
Mm-mm.
those rich ass motherfuckers, they were like, "Oh, Blink 182 is like
Oh, I see.
reuniting and blah blah blah, and we're gonna go
Yeah.
to Island and everything like that." And there's a whole documentary on this fucking thing. But
Mm.
like, basically, a guy swindled like rich ass motherfuckers for this festival that didn't end up happening, and people
Mm.
were in like FEMA trailers. They thought they're
Wow.
gonna get this like all expense like paid resort,
Mm.
deserted island with like Blink 182. I mean, Blink 182 is reunited now, but like in 2016 they weren't. So like it was like a fucking big deal, and it just ended up like fuck all. Like
That's
the
crazy.
guy who fucking set it up actually just got out of prison. So yeah,
I hope he still. Yeah, I hope he. I'm wondering if he still has the money.
I
So
it,
now that he's out of prison, he could just go spend
hopefully
it.
hopefully he was trading that FTX while he was
Mm.
in prison. So
Mhm.
that'd be great. That'd be
Mhm.
great. But it's kind of the same thing, right? And then yeah, so you got Maya, I got Morose. Fuck
Mhm.
yes. But now we've got the men's bantamweight, actually men's flyweight. Uh,
Zalgas.
yep, Zuma Gulov, 14 and
Mhm.
7, going up against 11 and 3, Charles Johnson. Let's go with Inerg. Inerg. That's his fight moniker. If- And he's from
Energy. Energy.
okay. Is that what it is?
Energy. I guess
Oh,
energy.
Energy.
Yeah. Or
Oh,
energy. Depends on if he's feeling gangster or not. It could be energy as in energy, or it could be energy. Is he an energy? We're about to find out. We'll see. Tiger Muay Thai, you know what I'm saying?
nothing.
Missouri.
He's
Joaquin
fucking Ken.
Rodriguez, coach.
He's fucking Kenny G to me.
Kenny G. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. I'm sorry. He's Inerg to me. Fuck him. Uh, I'm sure he's a nice person, but in terms of Charles Johnson, right? He actually he KO'd Carlos Mota, right?
Mm.
At LFA. That was actually the headline of that particular LFA. Was it a title fight? Let me see. But this happens by way of LFA 122.
I
Um,
see.
yeah, that was a flyweight championship. So he basically beat Mota.
Hmm. And then he
Yeah,
jumped in the
for the
UFC.
yeah. So
And he beat
hell
the
yes,
homie Yuma Horiguchi too. Horiguchi.
yeah, Horiguchi.
That's the homie right there.
Yeah, man.
I
He's doing
met
cool shit in Bellator, isn't he?
I met him at CXF.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's in Bellator, right?
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
he's dabbling with Bellator.
Hell yes. Why not? Get that fucking money, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my
But
dude.
Zalgas all day, boys. I've been waiting for this one. Let's fucking go. He KO'd
Hmm.
him after Omota got tired.
Hmm.
Never forget. Never forget.
Hmm.
I'm going with Rogue. I'm going fucking Zalgas. This is somebody you're high
Mm.
on too. So do we get a consensus pick, Voodoo? We got Zalgas Zumagulov. I could get into his record and shit like that, but that motherfucker looks like
Nah, no need.
one of the Easter Island fucking
he
artifacts and
looks
shit.
he looks like he's got some kind of deadly form of wrestling.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and
saying?
or he
Bone
fucking
snapping.
or imagine doing that. That fucking Randy Couture dirty boxing and that big
Yeah.
ass shin fucking gets in your solar plexus and shit. That's not gonna be a great day for you. So Zalgas Magulov, I don't give a shit how it happens. This could be a performance of the night for Zalgas. Like this dude is a badass. He's a bad
Hey,
motherfucker. That
this
guy.
this Charles Johnson. He's
And
gonna
you're
be the sharper of the two, but Zargus is gonna have that wrestling. So can he close the distance and get that wrestling initiated? This will be the question Zargus has to answer. I'm not sold on Zargus against this guy. I think this guy's gonna have more speed. This
so you're right.
Charles Johnson. I want to go Zargus very bad, but
Okay.
this Johnson fella, there's something to be said about that Muay Thai. If Zagas cannot take him down within the first 2 rounds, Zagas is gonna take an ass whooping because his striking is not that great. It's good, but it ain't great. It ain't Muay Thai good. You know what I mean? I don't think he's good with the balancing out the hands and the feet.
Neither am
But
I,
but
but I
his
can take a
wrestling
hit.
is savage. His wrestling is savage.
Yeah,
That's the so
difference maker.
yeah. Um, Smart money says Zalgas because he's a veteran of the UFC. So and he's got more experience. He'll be able to if he gets a good hold of him, he'll drag him into deep waters, and he can easily drown him in 1 round if he gets him early.
So
It's crazy. I want to give the kid a chance, but
okay.
smart money says Zalgas, man. I got
No,
Zalgas too.
pick with your heart. Pick with your intention. You know.
The truth is, I don't know who's gonna win, but based on statistics, I choose Zaga's. According to the money, Zaga's. You know, but the
Yeah,
kid's got hands. That's the thing. He's
yeah, he
got hands
does.
and feet.
Yeah, but I for me, just like selfishly,
Hmm.
I, I want to. Like it's been the flyweight title has gone like Assassin Baby Moreno
Yes.
and God of War.
Hmm. Hmm.
What's his fucking name?
I know what you're talking about. The guy with the yellow hair.
Figgy.
Yeah, Figueredo.
Yeah, Figueredo, right?
Hmm.
I want Zalgas to fucking just shake that shit up. Let's get wild. Let's get wild. Let's fucking throw a fucking Kazakhstan motherfucker in there. Like why not? Like let's see that like Zalgas, is Kazaki fucking wrestling versus the shit that Figgy's got from like the fucking Amazonian jungle. Like I want to
Mm.
see how that shit works out. So uh selfishly I want Zalgas to win so he kind of broaches that fucking, what could be like Moreno fucking Figgy 4. We've already seen that shit 3 times. Like let's inject some fresh blood in there. So that's why I want Zal.
Hey,
Yeah,
Zaga's been in the UFC since 2016.
yeah, yeah.
He's been around. He's fought Tyson Nam, the Ali Bagutinov like 3 times. Ali Bagautinov.
He
He
looks
also
like
fought. He also
further away.
fought Arthur Bagautinov. Ali and Arthur Bagautinov. Ali and Arthur.
For some reason, I said beef stroganoff happened in my head. I don't know why. But yeah. So I mean, let's make it official. So, do you want Johnson?
Yeah, I'll take Johnson.
Okay,
I'm
cool.
I want to gamble.
All
I
right,
want to gamble.
that's fair. So that's actually the headline fight of the prelim. So we get into the main card. We have the 12-2 Jack Della Maddalena going up against the 18-6 British Danny Roberts. So let's go with Danny Roberts first. Hot chocolate Danny Roberts.
Hot chocolate.
Yeah, just lost to Francisco Trinaldo in May of this year on the undercard of Oliveira versus Gaethje.
Don't
Has
sleep on
split it.
Trinaldo.
Yeah, old man Tremado fucking getting it
This
done
is a
still
badass.
in 22. Like
That cardio is
2022 is
ridiculous.
looking like fucking 2012 when he first entered the UFC.
You
Jesus
know what I'm
Christ.
saying?
He's on
That
that
cardio is
fucking
ridiculous.
that Voodoo Maximus like fountain of youth shit, you know.
Mm.
It's watch at the end of the everything, it'll be Trinaldo, Voodoo, and fucking Yoel Romero. No, I love you. I love you. Fucking shout out
I like
to
you, Mike.
yeah. I wanted to say the other thing, but I don't. But I'm
See you
just saying,
song, boy.
yeah. You know which one I want to say? The one about forgetting.
No
No
forget
for.
Jesus. No forget Jesus.
That's not how it sounded, though.
No forget Jesus.
Oh, I love you, Al Romero. Oh, and you know that's another thing, right? Unfortunately, Anthony Rumble Johnson passing away because they were trying to build up, Yoel Romero versus Rumble Johnson, and
Yeah.
if they're both healthy, holy shit, that would be the one. That would be the one to end everything. Jesus Christ, yeah, but it sucks that we don't have it, but it sucks that we don't have the person, not just the fighter, the person that is Anthony Rumble Johnson. So,
It's all good.
yeah, man, it sucks. But so Danny Roberts, he is coming off of a loss to Trinaldo, but beat Ramzan Emaev, right? And then lost to Michel Pieta by KO. Let's see what else is in there. Lost to Mike Perry. Jesus Christ. It's not looking good for Danny Roberts. And he's going up against Jack Della Maddalena, who's only lost
Mm-hmm.
two times in his professional career, is a champion
Mm-hmm.
of Ethereal champion. He's an ethereal champion.
Mm-hmm.
But he is on a Jesus Christ. Literally 10 fight winning streak because the first
Mm-hmm.
two fights of his career, those were the losses. And he fucking figured shit out that he went on
Mm-hmm.
a 10 fight winning streak that leads him to Hot Chocolate Danny Roberts. And I got fucking Jack Della Maddalena, especially the fact that he fucking liver punched the shit out of
Mm.
Ramzan Emaev. He got a fucking Eastern Bloc European wrestler to fucking shut down with a liver shot. Fuck yes, let's do
Hey,
more.
remember the dude that used to throw the liver punch? Black Jack Mulligan? Was that him?
Oh, that was a heart punch. Wait,
That was a heart punch?
yeah,
Yeah, the
it
heart
was
punch.
him. It was him, and then also Ox Baker with the
Ox
fucking
Baker.
Ox
That's
Baker.
right.
Ox Baker
Oh
with the
my
fucking
god.
heart. Because Ox Baker literally, like, he fucking hit that shit and dude fucking died, bro. Like,
Oh, he killed the man?
he killed the dude. Fucking Ox Baker didn't play shit. He got, yeah, man. Uh, I actually saw Ox Baker
Oh my
at
god.
LAX Hilton. They had like a wrestling signing
Yeah.
um, right after my dad died. Like my dad passed away Christmas of 2010, and it was like January or February 2011, and it was the wildest thing to see Ox Baker trying to fucking work an angle with Iron Sheik, and I'm like,
Wow.
the 7-year-old me is like, the fuck is happening right now? And then
Wow.
also superstar Billy Graham was there too. It was like,
Wow.
yeah, I get fucking goosebumps and whatever. And then like got into the signings and shit like that. And here's like Mean Gene, and Mean Gene's like fucking creeping up on Harley Race. Like
Wow.
again, fucking crazy shit. But yeah, man, this is yeah. I got Jack Della Magdalena for sure.
Hey, it's awesome how we got to live through the Attitude Era, man. Some of the best time and
Well, even the fucking 80s, man. Like the 80s was
yeah,
just, I
those were
mean,
great
I
too.
look at that, man, shit. I was watching, I think, Super Brawl. I
We
just
got to
like felt
we got
like
to
I,
see Vince McMahon's creation.
yeah, no, but I mean, look at, and I'm not saying it just because like I'm on after 83 weeks or anything, whatever. But like fucking WCW, man, that shit was amazing. Like
Mm-hmm.
there was a world television title match. That was like the third rung fucking WCW title. It was like TV title, US title, world championship, right? But
Mm-hmm.
fucking Lord Steven Regal with fucking Bill Dundee or Sir Squire Bill or whatever the fuck thing,
Mm.
the Blue Bloods gimmick, going up against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat for the
Mm-hmm.
fucking TV title. That shit, oh my god. Hell yes, man.
Hey, you know my favorite match in WCW?
Which was
Rey Mysterio and Eddie
Eddie Guerrero.
Guerrero.
Halloween Havoc.
Halloween Havoc. Oh my god. That was
Fu-
the match.
Funny enough, I just played that on
That was the match.
yeah.
I
W
still remember that match.
I actually played that in the career mode and WWE 2K22. I just
Mm.
played that last night. I was just like,
Damn, man. That shit is so dope.
and even like you know Ray's fucking suit because he was trying to be the Phantom.
The
You know,
Phantom. He looks
what's it?
so hard.
And the thing about it, it was a whole bodysuit. Like the
Mm-hmm.
fucking mask was
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ingrained and whatever. So when
Mm-hmm.
Eddie pulled that shit, he was like
He
really fucking
ripped
pull
it.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it's so good. The
It was a
fucking the banisters with the Slim Jims.
yeah.
You
It was a
know,
beautiful match.
hell yes,
I
man.
thoroughly enjoyed that match as a young person.
I WCW was just amazing. Jesus
It was
Christ.
indeed.
Hell
It
yes.
was.
Which McMack says you two are gonna have you guys are gonna go in a tag team match. Holla holla holla. Hell yes. Yeah, you and
I'm
me
down
for
with
the
that.
hell yes, let's do it. But so who do you want?
Oh yeah,
Daddy
Jack
Roberts and
Della Magdalena as well for
for
me
sure.
too.
Okay.
He's very technically sound. He's efficient, and he's got cardio for days. He doesn't make many mistakes, so
Yeah.
I'm going with Jack as well.
Oh yes. Um, we got in the 170 pound division, just like we did with the Danny Roberts Jack Della Magdalena fight. We have
Hmm.
Andre Filial,
Hmm.
16-5, going up against Muslim Salakhov, right?
Mm.
So just kind of quick hits. 2-1, right? Beats Miguel Baeza um, at UFC Fight Night in the first round, just KOs the shit out of him. Then a left hook to Cameron Van Camp, but then lost via KO to Jake Matthews, right?
Mm.
Now let's look at Muslim Salakhov, right? You would assume that he's a big Russian wrestler, and you'd be right when you would think that. But he calls himself the King of Kung Fu, which is weird, but I like it. So he was on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fight winning streak with names like Nordin Talib, uh, Loriana Stopoli, Elizeu Zalecki,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
Francisco Trinaldo in that winning streak, right? But
Hmm.
then he loses to the Leech, Li Jingling,
Right cross.
Jingling. That's
Jingling,
that's funny.
jingling, ling, 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 ling.
Jing Liang. Jing Liang. The dude with the fucking awesome suit that didn't get to fucking show it off. Yeah. So I feel like somebody's head's gonna come off on this one. Shit.
Yeah, hey,
Uh
Jin Liang's been looking for an opportunity to prove himself, especially after the last loss, in which he
yeah,
performed marvelously, and the referees give it to the other guy anyway. So you know he
Rodriguez.
wants to, yeah. You know Jing Ling wants to do his thing, but
Yeah.
we ain't talking about Jin Ling right now though. But when he
Yeah,
comes back, he's gonna put in work.
100%. So I
Uh,
mean
I, I'm
Salikov
a
and Filial.
I'm a Islam type dude too, man. I mean, yeah, Muslim, Muslim Sadikov. I'm down with. I'm down with what he's talking about right now. I said
Yeah,
Islam, huh?
yeah, let's get down with the Louis Farrakhan. Fucking Louis Farrakhan by KO, second round. Nothing but net. The swine is unkind, motherfuckers.
Hey, hey, I know how good Francisco Trinaldo is. And
Yeah, he
if this
is.
guy can beat Francisco Trinaldo by unanimous decision, he must be somebody special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm also going with Muslim Salikov.
Salakov. Yeah, man. Not Islam Salitos. That's different. So different.
Uh,
But going into the heavyweight division, we got the 16 and 10 Chase Sherman going
hmm.
up against he's the Vanilla Gorilla.
Waldo.
Yes, going up
Where's
against
Waldo?
where's Waldo Cortez Acosta. oh, this is
Salsa
great.
boy.
This is great. Yes. So we got the Vanilla Gorilla going up against Salsa Boy.
Okay.
That's really happening in the UFC. But Chase Sherman, he's a multi-sport athlete, competing in both MMA and BKFC, bare knuckle kickboxing, right? And like literally like one and the other until he gets into the UFC, right? Goes to a draw uh, against Sam Shoemaker
Mm,
at BKFC 5. That was the what is it? Artem
mm,
Lobov fight, right?
mhm,
Then he goes to Island Fight 56, KO's Roshan Jackson, then goes back to BKFC, unanimous decision over Arnold Allen, loses to the Mexicutioner Joy Beltran, who
mm,
became the champion after that. Uh,
mhm,
Beat Hurricane Ike Villanueva, a second round TKO, but then lost to Andre Arlovsky, but it's Andre Arlovsky, former UFC heavyweight champion, lost to Parker Porter, lost to
mm,
Jake Collier, lost to
mm,
Alexander King Kong Romanov, but then beat
mm,
Jared Vandera, third
mm,
round, KO, right? Now he's going up against Where's Waldo? Waldo Cortez, right? 8-0, coming from, I believe it's Panama. Nope.
mm.
Is it?
Dominican
Nope.
Republic,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
right?
mixing up my Latin, my Afro Latinos. My bad.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
Dominican Republic.
yes, but he's a Bellator veteran and an LFA veteran. Uh, he's on. I mean, he's literally 8-0. So there's nothing more to say about that. He's even tried his hand at boxing. Beat Daviante Jones, who went into BKFC. He's been on the according to Woods podcast.
That's what's
Daviante
up.
has, yeah. So yeah, man, this is a really good fight. Actually,
I got Waldo, man.
yeah, because it looks like she's
Waldo has 8 fights, right, as a
yeah,
pro in
and
MMA.
and that's just MMA. That's not
Yeah,
even including the boxing shit.
yeah, exactly. So he's more than experienced under the lights, under the pressures of the lights. He's undefeated. He's young and he's fast. That's the key. He's young and fast. He's got great hands. Chase Sherman ain't gonna be going for no takedown, and if he
Right.
does, I don't think he's going to be very effective. He's gonna be forced into a dogfight, but one man is has the ability to be technical. Once he gets his temperature past a certain level, then Chase Sherman will be stuck in limbo, where he is facing a precision striker while he's throwing all sorts of Street Fighter like striking. You see the picture that I'm painting?
Yep.
So Wilder's
He's like
gonna end up
fucking.
knocking his ass out.
What was I gonna say? It's like fucking Zangief and shit.
Wilder's gonna knock his ass out.
Yeah, like Zangief on fucking Street Fighter.
99.
Night night.
He's going to
Yeah,
sleep.
I got Where's Waldo as well. The Salsa
Mm.
Boy all day. Which we need some fucking Salsa Boy shirts. Come on, Venom, get your shit
Let's
together.
go.
We need some
Yes,
Salsa
yes.
Boy shirts.
And spell that name right.
Yeah. You had to run it. You had to bring it up. Hey, that was fucking. Who was it? Reebok. Reebok's
Yeah,
silly asses.
something
What
like that.
called Cub Swanson his real name and shit like that. Oh my god. MMA, nothing like it.
Ricky
Nothing like it.
Swanson.
You Ricky. It sounds like a TV dinner. Jesus Christ. But you know what doesn't taste like a TV dinner? The co-main events of the evening. We have Ian Kutalaba, or better known as Ian Cute Labia, going up against 10-3 Kennedy Nunchukwu. So let's go with the 10-3 Kennedy Nunchukwu, the African Savage. Not
The
all
winner.
Africans are savages. Oh, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
But just beat Carl Roberson, elbows from the back mount.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Lost to Dong Jung and Nikolai Nurgamariano. Motherfucker. I felt like I had Jim Carrey Tourette's and like liar, liar. No, that was Steve Carell and Anchor. Wait, not Anchorman. Bruce Almighty.
Yeah. What's this, Steve Carell?
Yeah, Steve Carell. Yeah. So the African Savage. Shout out to African Savage. Now, Cute Labia. Um, he's an Ion. I am the Hulk. I on the Hulk. That's a weird deal. I am the Hulk. I on the Hulk. Yes, but Ion is coming off of losses to both Johnny Walker and Ryan Spann. He gets submitted and finished both of them. One a rear naked choke, Johnny Walker, a guillotine choke by Ryan Spann. But before that, beat Devin Clark via unanimous decision. Split decision draw to Dustin Jacoby. Lost to Magomed Ankalaev. And he gets KO'd twice, theoretically, by Magomed Ankalaev. And then, but he beat Khalil Roundtree at ESPN plus 18. UFC on ESPN plus 18. I actually am going to go with you. It's not just the fact that he's a countryman of yours, but Kenny Nunchukwu has the best chance in winning in this particular instance. So I got second round KO, Kennedy Nunchukwu. I don't think Ian Kotalaba is going to go down easy, but he is going to fall prey. TKO? Okay. TKO, second round.
Yeah. Referee's going to save him.
There you go. Yeah. And why wouldn't you save a cute labia? Right?
Yeah.
There you go. But we're at the main events of the evening. We have the 15-3 Sergey Spivak going up against the Black Beast, 26-10, former UFC interim heavyweight title contender Derek Lewis. Let's look at Sergey Spivak, the polar bear, having been a champion in another promotion that is WWFC. Not World Wrestling Federation, but World Wrestling Federation Championship. Something. But he's lost to Walt Harris, beat Tony Kryptonite Lopez, beat Tai Tuivasa via arm triangle choke, lost to Marcin Tybura, majority decision win over Carlos Felipe, beat Jared Vandera on the second round via TKO, beat Old Man Olnick via unanimous decision, went to, dropped a TKO to Tom Aspinall, beat the shit out of Greg Hardy, yes. But then also beat Augustus Sakai. So he's going up against the biggest test of his career, the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis just said at the press conference, like he knows that he's on a 2-fight losing streak. That coming by way of Tai Tuivasa and Sergey Pavlovich. So he's already lost to Sergey, spelled differently. But he doesn't want to be the person to lose 3 fights in a row. And I don't think even if he loses his fight, I don't think they're cutting Derek Lewis from from the UFC. But
Mm,
Derek Lewis is in a difficult position because this is somebody
mhm,
who didn't give a shit when he was offered the title shot and whatever. He didn't give a shit about the title. It wasn't about the title and whatever. But now he's
mhm,
on a what could be a 3-fight losing streak, and traditionally that's when the UFC gets rid of you. Well, you didn't want to be champion, but
mhm.
then you're getting KO'd right and left. So what
It ain't easy.
equity? Yeah, what equity is there in Derek Lewis? You kind of
It ain't easy.
sowed your own fucking seed, man. And I don't necessarily think that Sergey Spivak is going to win. Actually, you know what? He might neutralize him with the wrestling rather
He
than
will
Derek.
neutralize him with the wrestling.
So, are you going
If
Sergey?
there, yeah, I have to. That's the safest bet. If
Yeah,
Derek Lewis doesn't catch him early, you know what I'm saying? He will lose on the ground to submission in the first round.
McMax says Salsa Boy's getting KO'd by the fucking kung fu guy.
Okay, all right.
uh,
But I think Derek Lewis is gonna
get
he's gonna
KO'd.
he's gonna he's gonna get TKO.
Yeah, I
He
feel
he
that too.
might take his back or mount him, and then he's gonna rain down a whole lot of punches, and the referee will stop it. That's what I see happening. I don't see
I
Derek Lewis getting put out KO.
Yeah, I think
It's gonna be like
it'll probably be
submission.
it could even be a standing KO. Honestly, where he's just getting taking shots like you know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, standing KO. So I also have Sergey. Ooh, excuse me, Sergey Spivak. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
That pushed the burp out of me. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mick actually he had an earlier comment, and I'll get to that. But before we go, Mick says, "What about the trillion that disappeared at the Pentagon?" And the next day,
That's
that section of
right.
the Pentagon got hit.
Hey, what's that dude's name? Donald Rumsfeld. He comes on
Yeah.
TV. Donald Rumsfeld comes on TV and he's like, "Yo, that's about $3 trillion that's just gone up in smoke and disappeared. This, and that, and that." The very next day, the Twin Towers fell, and everyone forgot
Mm,
about the $3 trillion. And then a plane flew into the Pentagon, destroying exactly that part of the building
yep.
where records are kept, where the records are kept. Was it a bomb or was it a missile?
We're told it's a plane, Voodoo. I mean, of course. Why wouldn't it be a plane? Right?
Mm,
It's only this big, and yeah, it's a plane for the dwarfs, right? That went into the Pentagon, right? Just saying. Maybe one of them ancient tribes of 3-foot people in the Amazon or
mm,
something like that. Kind of, it was flying that plane that fateful day. I don't know. I
mm.
don't know. What the fuck do I know? But what I do know is this is Voodoo in the Woods' is UFC Fight Night pre-show. The Spivak
Mhm.
versus Lewis. Voodoo, where can they find you on the socials?
Voodoo Maximus, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook page, uh, to Twitter. Yeah, Twitter. You know, so
What's up
those are
for
my hangouts.
Yeah, there you go. We might not have Twitter for too much longer, but we'll see if we make it through the
We'll
weekend.
see. Mm.
What up for the weekend? Obviously, there's this fights, but there's also AEW Full Gear, which I want
Let's
MJF
go.
to fucking win. So it's MJF's time. You
Mm.
have you seen the MJF video?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, just look up MJF, Maxwell Jacob
Okay.
Freeman. He is
Okay. It's
every
flawless.
he's the best part of wrestling right now. Like the best.
Wow.
He's the best.
What about Ricochet and those guys?
I'm not like this motherfucker in the go home show, like John Moxley, who's the champion, the former Dean Ambrose,
Right.
right?
Hmm.
Uh, he's getting beat up, and that whole shit about like, oh, I I'm not saving you to save your ass. I don't want you to have any fucking
Uh,
excuses when I whoop that
right.
ass, right? But
Right.
MJF literally came out and beat like fucking 6 people with fucking
Mhm.
Three Stooges moves. Swear to
Nice.
God. Swear to God. Like he comes out like Three Stooges moves and fucking Kerry Von Erich fucking hits. And crazy enough, because like he's actually gonna play Lance Von Erich, the fake Von Erich in the Von Erich there's a movie being made up about the Von Erichs. Zac Efron is actually playing Kevin Von Erich. No bullshit. Right? But he's throwing fucking Three Stooges fucking punches, and then he does Von Erich like long shots, like Kerry and Kevin and shit like that. He's just incredible. You gotta see this shit, dude.
The Von Erichs are my dudes, man. When I
Yeah.
was little, Kerry Von Erich, the
Only
one with no
fans.
shoes on.
Oh no,
The
that's
Von Erich
Kevin.
with no shoes. Okay, Kevin Von Erich
Because Kerry is the one with
with the
no
one
feet.
leg.
Yes. Yes. The Texas Tornado. With all the fucking tassels every time he did the
Yeah,
discus
yeah,
punch.
yeah.
And the
That's my
claw.
guy.
He did the fucking claw
Yeah,
like his daddy did.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. Fucking hell yes. And
Some cool
no, I
stuff.
don't think we have OnlyFans. McMac, sorry. And AEW is so awful. I mean, according to Eric Bischoff, I mean,
Right.
I think they can definitely turn it around if they put MJF in the spot. So I'm just saying MJF for the win. You can find me according to Woods at all the places and shit like that. Unless like Twitter gets offline, we're not going to be on Twitter anymore. But otherwise, according to Woods across the board, memes and podcasts, I'm your hookup. But thank you guys
Let's
for
go.
joining us. You guys are
Holler if
incredible.
you hear me.
You got 22 and 3/3 of winning, fuckers. So I'm just saying. So just win. All you do is win. And we'll be at laters.